Terrell Thomas, These Urban Times. I'm sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Oh!
$2.
Oh!
Leader of the Gik Squad. Fabo, how you feel today, good sir?
Hey, man. Never better, dude. Never better. Today was a good one.
It's always a pleasure to sit down and chat with you, so I'm appreciative of your time. As I mentioned, like you're a legend in this hip hop game. You're a legend in this movement that we call for the culture. And you've been setting the standards in Atlanta for a long, long time. 2020 was a different year for all of us, of course. New horizons, new ways of us doing things. For the most part, most of the time that I've had the pleasure of talking with you, we've been live and in person and whatnot. We're doing things virtually now in this new day and everything. How is as we're getting kicked off into 2021? How are things in your realm?
Oh man, I mean, it's still everybody's still inside. You got a lot of people inside. You have a lot of us that's out here braving it. And that's just how it goes, man. We dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with it, and it's definitely a different climate. It's a different situation out here. The hustle is a lot different. Because you can't go inside the clubs, and a lot of people still scared to travel for as flights and stuff like that. So, it's basically back to the Chitlin circuit for a lot of people. And I'm glad I had a chance to experience the 90s and the 2000s, where people used to go to all the different surrounding towns, and, you had to do your thing before the streaming and stuff like that. But now, you got to do the same thing to let people know to go sit at home and watch your stuff. So, yeah, it's a different climate.
What have you been working on as far as the end of 2020 and 2021? The last time we sat down and chat with you, I know you were talking about new material that you had coming out.
Yeah.
I've been seeing your face a whole lot more on social media, so I'll talk to you about that. But what have you been quietly working on and cooking up?
Yeah, I mean, just recently, I've been working with Rozart and Zaytoven, and we banged one out called Jetpack, and we just did the video to that. I'm working with Digital Dope over there, rolling. He's off the chain and stuff, and shout out to Queen D4L, she always in the mix. Yeah, man, we've been working on that. We actually did the Finesse 2 that's about to come out. We're in that movie. I went through the 85 South show. I thought that was fun. I hung out with those guys, the 85%ers. They came at me, but they know I'm good people and I'm family too. And yeah, man, hoping this Wildin' Out episode airs, because we did one of those and it was like caught up in that mix. So yeah, man, it's been a busy end of the year for me, man. And the beginning, jumping off, we dropped the K-Camp, the Tatted Up remix, and I did the Zach Fox record, which was crazy. Zach is awesome, and yeah, and so it's just been go. That's it, man. Just go. We actually just released another video called Again, and it's a little freaky for the girls, I'm a little freaky, I'm funny freaky. Hello.
Tell me what it was like doing the track with K-Camp, because we spoke to K-Camp when everything was in the mix of that, and he was talking about the legend that he feels you are, and he feels as though you don't get enough credit for the work that you've put in music, and for so many people sampling your style or being influenced by your style. So what was it like doing that record with Camp?
Man, Camp was like, he was dope, man. He reached out to me, and we got it done pretty quickly, because the record is a favorite of mine, and I love what they did with that track and everything. And I actually went in and sung a lot of the vocals over and stuff like that. So you get hear me go, Barbara, all of that stuff. But I did a lot of that stuff over, and it worked out pretty well, man. Camp, we got out there and did the video, and he was a great spirit, man. That dude is just like his genius level is like, wow.
Yes, that's real. We also recently saw you on a commercial, good sir. You're doing fast food commercials, and that was dope to see too, because it's just like the I'll say the flowers you were receiving for that. A lot of people in Atlanta felt like you've always been a treasure in Atlanta, so it was great to see you being a national treasure. Getting talk to us about the commercial. Let our audience who may not let them know about the commercial. And how did that come about?
Man, big shout out to Krystals. Like I was working with the Dagger Agency, and actually one of my friends from Butter ATL hit me up, And he was like, yo, you know, I got this opportunity. And, you know, it worked out great, man. The relationship worked out great. Krystals came back with another campaign where we just released this week, actually, which are the sliders. The first one was the Countrify Steak.
Mhm.
And this one is the sliders, like, you know, basically turning me into, you know, the face of the organization. And I thought that was dope, you know. But yeah, you should check out the new commercials, man. You know, turn your TV on and watch me go, ah, you know, oh, only at Krystals, you know. It's really dope, man. The campaign is really dope. Yeah, it's nice.
How has moving and shaking changed for you during the pandemic? Because I have seen, although as you mentioned, like things have slowed down and people are being a
Yeah,
lot safer with their moving. I'm seeing you still keeping things rolling, and I respect the hell out of that. What
yeah.
advice would you give to folks who are still trying to make it throughout the pandemic, and how have you been able to move and stay safe and things of that nature?
Wow. I think initially when we were first, you know, put on the lockdown, I mean, I think it hit everyone the same way. You know, you were just wondering what's going to happen. You know, what's this like, you know, being in the house like this, you know, day after day. And you know, after growing the beards and all of that or whatever, you know, they let us off lockdown. They opened up a couple of things or whatever, and some of us, we just felt like braving it. You know, I'm me myself, I'm really more of an outgoing person. I had people in my family, you know, that were affected, you know, by this situation and everything. And you know, it hurt to be in it. And while I was in the house, actually, I actually did a hood game show or whatever, you know, for people who I thought really needed it. I wanted to make sure that some of my stimulus check and other money that came, you know, my way got in the hands of the people. And people always said, oh, I'm going to give back, or they turn the cameras on and they walk up, yo, I'm giving this person a sandwich, or this, that, and the other. I wanted you to see, you know, people who really needed it. And I wanted to put the money directly in their hands. You see what I'm saying? And it was a great show. And coming off of that or whatever, and that momentum, I took it to the clubs. Come here, you know, pray for Jesus. You can hear all of that stuff, you know, in my routine on stage and stuff like that. But like I said, you know, mask on. To anybody who's out here, you know, that really got to get out here and get it. You know, it's mask on. You know, that's just basically all I can say. And I've been fortunate myself to take a few coronavirus tests, and I haven't had any antibodies build up in my body towards the coronavirus, meaning I, you know, definitely be keeping it safe. So, you know, I would advise everybody else to do the same.
That's a blessing for damn sure. One of the most intriguing things I think, I think in our past time and speaking with you and some game that I've learned, we always think about how things are affecting us in the hip hop realm here in America or even here in Atlanta.
Facts.
But you're a gentleman who is taking things global and
Yeah,
are really big on like the international dollar. Uh,
yeah.
you know, taking the culture across the seas, across the pond, however folks want to say it, and spreading the culture internationally. Although once again travel stopped a little bit, talk to me please about the importance and school our audience on the importance of understanding how
Wow.
big our culture is from an international or global standpoint.
Oh, I mean, hip hop is the number one genre in the world. I think early on, you know, when I first started going across seas or whatever, you know, to Germany and Japan and places like that, I thought, you know, to myself, they're like a year behind, maybe a year and a half and stuff like that. Because when we was well off into the Snap era, they was still playing Lil Jon. And I was like, we got Jeezy and Gucci and all of that already. They hadn't even stepped into that era. You feel what I'm saying? And I think, you know, going recently, they're fairly caught up, and they playing everything that you playing. They, you know, everything is kind of the fashion is kind of the same. They got the Gucci and the Louis on in the clubs and stuff. So sometimes if you're in a place where the United States has bases and stuff like that, you'll definitely feel like you're at home. You know, you'll feel like you're at home because the clubs are filled over there the same way they filled over here. And I think the appeal is of hip hop is just like, wow, I want to be that. I want to do that, you know. And I think that's the best thing in the world, you know. And to have someone that stays 6,000 miles away that want to be from your block, Bankhead, that want to rep your set, Gik Squad, that want to wear your gear. I think that alone just says everything. And I learned from Wu-Tang and people like that, man. I mean, I watched them when they was doing all the Wu-Tang stuff, the China stuff, the with the martial arts and all of that. And I'm watching this stuff as I'm growing up, like, man, I want to do stuff like that, So when you go to Japan and places like this or whatever, you have to realize the culture is definitely different. But man, come on, man, everybody biting our swag.
That's facts. That's damn sure facts. I also seen you recently getting down and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
with the cat Junebug, who also has social media going crazy. What was that experience like working with that cat? Y'all video was hilarious. And what was it like putting all that together?
Man, that guy has a lot of energy. And that's a lot coming from me, because I guess because I'm older, I like to preserve my energy and stuff like that, for the kids and stuff when I get home and all of that. But hanging out with this guy, his energy level was like, boom. So he made it easy. He made the video easy. He's a mini director. So he's kind of already got all of this in his head on what he want to get accomplished. And I thought that made it a lot easier for me. But yeah, man, that day was like, wow, that guy was like he was a bag of candy. And it turned out great, man. I love working with people who has that work ethic. And he definitely has that work ethic. He puts in the work, he puts in the time, and doing the video, he had it all mapped out, and it worked out great, man. And I think the fans loved it.
Can you give me a little history? And once again, Terrell Thomas, TheseUrbanTimes, sitting down with the one and only.
Oh!
You give me a little history to one of my favorite songs growing up, Spaceship on Bankhead. How was that song created? And then of course, also like the remix. I'm not sure if it's the official remix, if it became the ATL remix, but once Jeezy jumped on it as well, it was
it turned into the official remix.
How did both of those come about? How did you originally create Spaceships on Bankhead, and then how did Jeezy get involved?
Well, I was always in the club, performing. So after me and Dro, we split up from Raheem the Dream, because we used to be with Raheem the Dream. I ended up back on the block. I think Dro was with Rocco for a little stint in a couple of more places or whatever before he ended up with T.I. And so, I felt like, that was my opportunity. That was my chance. So, I'm always making songs and stuff like this. So I had a slower version to the Geeked Up that everybody used to listen to while we was in the trap, whatever. So one of my homeboys passed away one night. I went in the studio or whatever, and the song came out in like 15, 20 minutes, but it was a different version. When D4L signed the deal, I hooked up with Mike Karen. Shout out to Mike Karen over at APG. I hooked up with Mike Karen, and we went in and we made it a masterpiece. So that's the version that you hear today. And people was mad at me. Like I'm already performing this song in the club, because, we got that Pool Palace vibe. Shout out to Jimmy, R.I.P. Jimmy. But that Pool Palace vibe. So I'm already performing the song. So when D4L got the deal, the whole club got mad at me for a while, because I put the gig, that wasn't originally in the song. So they was like, man, what is this, man? Blah, blah, blah. But as they kept playing it, they dropped back into it too. So, it turned into what I never did a video for that song. So I guess by being so hot in Atlanta, Jeezy heard it, and somebody contacted me one day and they sent me the version, and I was like, I was happy. It's Jeezy, nigga. Yeah. And that worked out great too. And he put it on the Gangsta Grills, and I think that's when everybody had a chance to, see a different side of me, because when I got out of prison, I was Laffy Taffy. So, that was just a song I made one night. If you go back and listen to the earlier stuff, Raheem the Dream used to be telling us, yo, don't kill everybody in every song. So to get to where we were with the Laffy Taffy, I thought that was a big accomplishment. But I still wanted to do, what I was always doing, which was, that geeked up feel. Like everybody who from Atlanta, what type of music I was making. So I wanted to get back to that. And that's where you got the Scotty from.
That's an amazing story right there. That track is one of my personal favorites. And I know to this day, you can hear it anywhere. You hear somebody car riding past, you hear it in the club, people stop what they doing, and they got to get down to it.
Yeah, I got hood classics too, man. Like a lot of people, they come to Atlanta, they be like, oh, Fabo, like woo, 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 woo. But if you go down like into certain areas, like they playing old stuff that I ain't never even put out. Like they know it by heart. Like if I go to barbecues and stuff, they say, I'm tired of struggling. Every day I'm hustling. Like I got ghetto hymns where I'm singing like songs like that people play all day long at the barbecues. I got homeboy songs that people play, you know, and all of that stuff in those different situations because, you know, I lost a lot of friends. So, man, you know, when you get into Atlanta and you really get to the clubs, the right clubs, you'll hear some Fabo you probably ain't never heard before.
I think that's real, and I
Yeah.
the hell out of that. What are your thoughts on like this whole new TikTok movement? Because as you mentioned, even things like Laffy Taffy, like you guys were the originators of making songs that people became or that would become trendy or people will be dancing and things too. If social media was what it is today, back then, oh my goodness, you know, the superstars and megastars that you are today would be even bigger and brighter. What are your thoughts on all these like TikTok trends, the challenges and things, and seeing these dances take place and grow legs via TikTok?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I definitely think it's wonderful. You know, I definitely think, you know, passing the torch is really important. You know, you see a lot of guys come out here and be like, oh, they doing this and they doing that or whatever. And, you know, you're entitled to your own opinion, but I think you should leave a blueprint and for what you want to have accomplished. When I was starting this, I remember looking at James Brown's videos, and he was the only one online that you could find on YouTube that stood in his living room and stood in front of the cameras like, do the funky chicken. This is gonna do the and he was just sitting there doing it. And I was like, man, I want to do some videos like that. And so, you know, I go to YouTube and they had just started the Ustream. So if you look at Young Thug, I feel like Fabo video. That was me turning my camera on, just standing in front of this the Batman, boom, and you can see me, this the Elvis Presley, this the this, and that's what I'm doing in the Young Thug video. And to see TikTok 15 years later, where you can stand in front of the camera, turn the camera on, play the song that you want to play, and all of that, man, it's like, that's evolution. I was there at the beginning, and I'm telling you how hard it was when you were somewhere and you wanted everybody to see your show, and I gotta wait till I come home to the United States to put it all together, and then boom. But now, as soon as I'm in Japan, I turn my camera on, I got Ustream and stuff like that. So it started making it more easier for me. But now, it's like, it's the future. So definitely, we're definitely in the apocalyptic times compared to where we were. You know, and I think it's great, man. I think the kids taking it to a whole nother level. I'm always thinking about trend setting, and you know, you know me, you know, I'm big on different, you know, big on being original. And I think my thing was when I started back dancing and I turned my camera on, and the viral videos you see with me dancing and stuff. Now I think I was more on tired of saying the same thing. And so that's why I started back dancing, because, you know, for a while I wasn't dancing or nothing. So, you know, I just wanted to let people know I could still do it. And I wanted to see something different. So now you see people, you know, shaking, and you see the different types and styles. You see the juking, and you see all the different styles, and I love it.
That's love. That's love. It's dope. I appreciate what you said about passing the torch. That's something that a lot of times is missing in our culture. So it's dope to hear somebody such as yourself saying that. What you got going on with Gik Squad? What's going on? What are you guys working on?
We got the Gik Squad is crazy, man. You know, we got PRI, we got Sage, you know, Calzoon, we got Nature. I mean, the squad is ready, man. We ready. And 2021 is gonna be a lot of surprises. It's definitely gonna be a lot of surprises. You just stay tuned.
We looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to some new music from you and whatnot.
Yeah.
Once again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate every time you've taken a moment and spoken with us, everything you do for the culture. A win for you is a win for everybody. So you know, shout out to what you got going on with Krystals. We're going to be checking out those new commercials. We're going to be staying in tune for some new commercials and some
get down to Krystals, man, and get y'all a nice meal and tell them Fabo sent you.
Let our audience please know how they can check you out via social media.
Yeah, man, you can hit me up at gikcity.com, GIKCITY, man, and find all social media platforms. I'm frequently visited at Instagram. You can catch me at I am Fabo, Fabo.
Much love, good sir. Be safe out here. Keep doing everything you're doing. Much love.
Hey, man, no problem, brother. Thanks for having me.
Much love.